The prairie woke slow, the sky blushing rose as if remembering a lover's hand. Dew clung to brittle grasses like secrets too shy to speak. Wind meandered through the sagebrush and fence posts, whispering old prayers. Lark Whitlow stood at the edge of Bo Callahan's ranch, hands knotted in her apron, eyes fixed on the horizon as if it might take her back or forgive her. Her boots were worn near to breaking, dust caked in their creases like old shame. He came up quiet, riding the kind of horse that didn't startle easy. Bo Callahan sat tall in the saddle, face shaded by a hat that had seen too much sun and loss. He looked at the girl like a man who understood silence. She looked at him like she was daring herself to stay. "I don't talk much, mister," she said, voice low, steady. "But I can cook." A long beat passed. Bo tipped his hat. "You're hired." She exhaled without moving. Something unwound in her, a little. The ranch was more bone than flesh. Fences leaned like tired men, barns sagged under skyweight. Chickens clucked like they knew sorrow. Lark entered the kitchen like she was stepping into a church she wasn't sure she believed in. She found the pots where they hid, scrubbed the cast iron with salt until it sang. Her hands knew rhythm. Her silence, though, unnerved the air. The boy, Red, eyed her from behind the doorframe. 9, maybe 10. Hair like rust, eyes like flint. He didn't speak, just watched. When she offered him a biscuit, he turned and ran. Later, Miss Elma Grady appeared at the porch, feathers and suspicion bristling around her like a storm. "Bo Callahan," she drawled, "you sure you know who you've let into your house?" Bo didn't look up from mending a boot. "I know enough." She sniffed, eyes sharp. "Some girls carry their ruin like perfume. You be careful." She left behind the scent of lilac and warning. That night Lark stayed up late. The kitchen was her only friend. She sliced onions thin as regret, stirred stew like a lullaby. Bo passed through, didn't say much. Just nodded once, then left a clean plate behind. It was the first quiet kindness she'd known in months. Red crept in after midnight. Thought she didn't notice. He spooned cold stew with trembling fingers, then slipped back into the dark. Lark smiled, just barely. Mornings came soft but watchful. She rose before the sun, kneading bread with elbows and memory. Bo watched from the porch, coffee in hand, not speaking. Not needing to. There was a comfort in his stillness, like a door left unlocked. But silence don't keep the world out. A storm rolled in 3 days later. The sky split open, thunder heavy as judgment. Red screamed in his sleep. Lark rushed to him, instinct over fear. He flailed, shrieking, "Don't touch me!" Her hands froze in the air between them. She backed away, shame swallowing her whole. Bo came in moments later, soaked and silent. Saw the tear-streaked boy, the trembling woman. He didn't scold, didn't explain. Just sat beside Red, brushing the boy's curls with calloused fingers. "She ain't gonna hurt you, son," he said, voice like gravel warmed by fire. Lark slipped out to the barn, barefoot and sobbing. Rain slapped her skin like penance. She curled beside the hay, whispered to the dark, "I'm not who they said I am." The horses huffed softly. Maybe they believed her. Bo found her there hours later. Didn't speak. Just handed her a blanket and sat down. They didn't touch, didn't need to. Days passed like that. Quiet gestures. Mended shirts. Fresh baked cornbread. A cup of coffee left waiting. Red began to hover near her in the mornings. Asked if he could help chop carrots. She nodded, handed him a knife. Watched the small scar on his hand tremble, then still. Bo brought her a bundle of herbs from the hills. "Figured you'd want flavor." She didn't thank him. Just used them, and made stew so good he closed his eyes with the first bite. Word reached town that the annual chili cook-off was coming. Bo entered Lark without asking. She flinched when she found out. "They'll be there," she said, voice like brittle glass. "The ones who talked." Bo looked her dead in the eye. Let him talk. Food don't lie. The day came hot and bright. Town square bustled with tinny laughter and sharpened glances. Miss Elma eyed Lark like a cat does a bird with broken wings. Didn't expect to see you here, she said, sweet as poison. Red stood at Lark's side, small hand in hers. She's the best cook I know, he declared. Reverend Clay tried the chili first. Chewed slow. Nodded once. Damn fine. The crowd stirred. She won. No applause. Just silence, weighted and strange. But Bo grinned, proud as sunrise. Told you. They walked home slow. Lark's shoulders straightened, spine learning to remember strength. I used to talk more, she said suddenly. Before. Bo didn't ask for more. You don't have to. Later, by firelight, he told her about Red's father, his brother. Got shot in the back over a crooked game. Died with my name on his lips. He rubbed the dirt from his palm, voice fraying at the edges. I took the boy. Didn't know what else to do. Lark reached across the space between them, laid her hand on his. He didn't flinch. That night they danced under the stars. No music. Just wind. Lark's feet moved slow like they hadn't danced in years. Maybe they hadn't. Bo leaned close. Why don't you talk much? He asked, not unkindly. Because words are where the hurt happened. He laid a hand on her cheek. Then don't say a thing. They stood there, breath mingling, the world folding around them. The next morning, Red went missing. Panic took the ranch like fire in dry grass. Lark found him near the canyon edge, knees scraped, face streaked in dirt. I thought you'd leave like the others, he sobbed. She gathered him close. I ain't going anywhere. You're my boy too now, all right? He cried against her shoulder, small body breaking open. She held him tighter than fear. Bo watched them from a rise, hand to his heart like it was something new. That evening, as dusk bled gold across the land, Lark walked to him. Took his hand. I still don't talk much, she said, eyes steady. That's all right, Bo replied. I hear you anyway. He kissed her then. Soft. Slow. Like water after drought. And the prairie held its breath, just a moment, to let them belong. Funny thing about silence. It can hold more truth than any word ever dared. I didn't need to speak to be heard. Just needed to stay. Sometimes, the hardest thing is to let someone see you and not flinch. But when the wind moves through the grass now, it sings not of sorrow, but of becoming. And if you ever find yourself lost out there, just know this. Your quiet matters too.